Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault 2, and we're back out here in the garage for another upcoming projects video. I have a couple things I want to show you that I have on the workbench, which is going to go in the queue for upcoming reviews. But I have the workbench all set up to film the garage portion of my range report on this OSS suppressor, and I think I showed this in my last video. But I got the bullet point script all kind of written up. I got the firearm that I used for the review. And yes, I know it's my wife's pink AR, but I talk about the reason I needed to use this is because this is the only rifle that I had really kind of available without having to go to the back of the safe that has a standard M4 profile barrel that is 0.75 inches in diameter. I have all of my other SBRs that I typically review things with have short barrels with handguards that go out to the end, and then I have a Colt 6720 which has a pencil barrel, but this suppressor goes over the barrel, and I needed one that was more mil-spec, and my wife's just happened to fit that bill. So I reviewed this suppressor with a pink AR, but I have it out here for the video, and I got the box and everything, and but let me tell you, every time I do a range report, I try to do research on it, and especially on the ones that are rare, or I guess the ones I'm more unfamiliar with, to make sure that I give all the correct information. And sometimes when it comes to things like this, I try to find all the specs and so forth. But let me tell you, I think from what I'm able to find out about OSS suppressors, I guess before they either merged with HuxWorks or became HuxWorks, all of their old suppressors are a nightmare to figure out what every model is and the size and the options, because they would use a single model name for a whole plethora of suppressors set up in various ways. I like the naming nomenclature of some companies where it's a simple, here's the model, here's the caliber. I like it simple. I don't think suppressors need to have, elaborate names or any of that. But if you design a suppressor, or actually a firearm for this matter, and it has a name and you change that design in a significant way, you need to change the model. Don't keep using the same model and just say, well, it's a different generation, because it's not always clear, because this is part of the Elite Series, which I guess has been discontinued because OSS doesn't make this one anymore, or any of the Elites as far as I can tell. But this design, I guess, originally was the OSS IFM6 Gen 5. That's what the box says. And IFM stood for Integrated Flush Mount, which essentially was like having a really elaborate flash hider that these would go over and screw onto, and they would be flush to the end of the barrel. But this isn't an IFM. Maybe it started off that way, and as they had different modules, they designed this OTB, which is over the barrel. In fact, I had to look this up, okay? So I had to figure this out, because when I looked up that model, I saw every suppressor that was under that name. I was like, okay, none of these look like this can. And they're all different lengths. They're all in 5.56. So this is what I was able to find, because it's discontinued on websites that still have them listed. It is an OSS, or Operator Suppressor Systems, Elite 556, I guess is the technical name of this, but it is the BRP2 SRM4 OTB. So what all that means is you have the back pressure regulator, which is this part of the suppressor here. You have the signature reduction module, which is here on the front, and it goes over the barrel. So I guess for the thumbnail and the title of the video, the way I can be the most specific is the OSS Elite 556 BRP2 SRM4 OTB. Oh gosh. Okay, and that's not really what's on the box. I guess that's technically the model originally, but with all the different options that you can get with it, that's really what it is. So if I just use like a generic name, it might not give people enough information. Anyway, it's a discontinued model, and I think I understand why it's been discontinued. I talked in that last video about all the problems I had with it, with the point of impact shift and the ballistic change. Also, it's heavy. It's a cool idea, but anyway, so that's what I had to figure out. And anyway, well, I had to film that. I was going to try to film it tonight because I got the bullet point script done, but that's not going to happen. It's like 9:15 at night, so I think I'll do it tomorrow afternoon. So I have everything set up for that. So I can come home from work, which Thursdays are typically a pretty short day for me. So I can just get to work on that and knock that one out. But let's talk about the two things I have on the table tonight. I was able to go see my friend Michael, and I returned that really awesome Sig P226 Legion SAO, single action only, which I absolutely love. Give it a 5 out of 5 star review, which if you guys are anxious to see that video and you're not a Patreon, you probably will not see it until next August. I know, it's October right now. That's how many videos ahead I am. But he had another Sig Legion. So I have now reviewed his Sig Legion 220, his 226, and this is going to be the 229. So it's the same thing, essentially, as the 226, but it's the compact. So here it is. Let me go ahead and drop that hammer. And beautiful gun, like always. And he says it shoots just as well as the 226. So we will have to see. So I think a lot of what I'm going to like and don't like about this gun is pretty much going to be the same as the 226. But handling it here on the workbench, there is one difference. And I don't remember this being an issue with the 226. And that is when it comes to the manual safety and the slide lock, they're right next to each other. And the manual safety is extended, but the slide lock is not. So if the slide is back and you want to close the slide, and let's just say it's on an empty magazine, so you need to push that slide lock down, having your thumb go around that safety is kind of weird, and you can't really get a good grip on it. I think I remember on the 226, this was a little bit forward, and it made more sense. It was easier to reach. But that might be my only complaint, and that's just a control complaint, I guess. But otherwise, I think it's going to be a pretty good review. Another 229 to review, so that should be fun. Yeah, and trigger feels like the 226. So, and because I have the 226 review kind of fresh in my head, I think it's a great opportunity just to review the compact one now. So we have that, and the other thing I got, I went to my P.O. box, and I guess another company sent me another optic. This is the CV Life. It's another red dot. So I thought I would show you what this is. I got a couple product reviews I got to get done. I got another through night flashlight. In fact, let me show you the products that I have on my list. And I know I'm grabbing my head because I'm just so behind on stuff. I have so many videos to make. But let me grab them here. And let me show you what product reviews I really need to sit down and do. And normally I'll do these on like a Sunday afternoon. I have this, oh man, this one's been on the workbench for a while. This is made by Vulcan. They sent me the quick draw, and it's like a magnet. So it's like you can put this on like a cabinet or a desk or the wall or whatever. You can put your gun in there, and it like holds it, I guess, under the desk, and you can like rack with it, and it holds. Anyway, it's like for your desk. Essentially, it's like a holster or a mount for your gun. I need to review this. My only problem with this is I don't know where I want to put it, because obviously I want to test it out. Here in the garage, there's no real place here on the workbench for me to mount it where it would make sense. And I don't want to be drilling holes into things I don't want to ruin. So I don't know where I'm going to put this. I'd look at putting it under the cabinets, maybe up here. I don't know. There's just no good place. So I need to review this. And then I have these walkie-talkie accessories that go onto Walker earmuffs. And my Walker earmuffs that I think were given to me by my friend David a long time ago, I got a lot of good use out of those. I mean, they have served me well for a long time. In fact, I want to say I got those. Boy, I think David sent me those back in 2020, 2021. I think it was like COVID time. And it got to the point, because I've used them so much, you know how like the earmuffs get like, the padding gets firm, you know, they're not comfortable anymore. But these are supposed to plug in with the Walker. So I need to go buy another set. Actually, I need to buy 2 sets, because this will allow you to be at the range and use the built-in headset and be able to talk to people at the range. We have to see how these things work. I got to figure out a way to review those. We got another through night flashlight. I like to review these. I know some people don't care about the product reviews, especially the flashlights, but I like the flashlight reviews. I got that one. That's kind of an easy one to film. The model on this one is the BSS V6. It's a hiking one, but it's a pretty big one. So, but it looks like actually it's a tactical light, because it has one of those bezels that you can use as like a melee weapon. So I think it might be a tactical light, even though it says hiking. And then I got this red dot from CV Life today. So I'm going to go ahead and open this one up, just see what it looks like. And as I always say in those reviews, the little Chinese red dots have come a long way. Optics technology has come so far, and I don't think people appreciate that, because the lower end cheap Chinese stuff honestly is as good as the mid-grade stuff probably 10 years ago. Like, that's it, because they've reverse engineered it. I mean, the top tier stuff from like Aimpoint and EOTech, I mean, it's in the stratosphere now when it comes to quality and what they can do. But I would have to say that Aimpoint of 15 years ago is probably where the Chinese companies are now. That's, you know, but it's just because technology grows so fast. So some of these work pretty good if you're on a budget, you know, and the ones that I've gotten, as long as they have the click adjustments, they actually work, and they perform just fine, and I get lots of positive comments on my reviews of them. So let's see here. It's this one. This is the HD04 Red Dot sight. So not very descriptive, but here it is. So kind of a basic red dot. These always seem to work well. So let's see what kind of adjustments we have on it. We have the ones with the caps, where the tool is built in. And as long as these are click adjustments, we are good to go. Because if they don't, they're pieces of junk. And we got strong clicks. So I think this one's going to be just fine. It's going to be like a generic red dot. And I'll have to check and see what all of the options are. So anyway, that's what I got on the table. Maybe nothing too exciting to add to the queue. But I need to get to these product reviews. But I got so many gun reviews to do as well. Oh my gosh. But luckily I have a long weekend coming up. So hopefully I'll be able to knock some of these out. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And sorry this isn't the most exciting video, but I did want to come to you guys and talk to you about what's going on. And if you happen to be an OSS Suppressor aficionado, tell me about this suppressor and what I said. So once again, from what I'm able to tell, this is the OSS Elite 556 BRP2 SRM4 OTB. Okay? If you know, happen to know. But I don't think many people do, because discontinued. They don't even do this design anymore that goes over the barrel. That's in 2 parts. So this has been a completely discontinued concept, model, design. So I don't know how many ever made it out there. And maybe there's a reason why they got discontinued, which I think based off of the performance, I know why. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you, but tell me if you know anything about it. It would really help me out a lot in case I missed it. In fact, I couldn't even find the specs for this. In fact, on camera, I'm going to measure it with a tape measure. Normally, I can just go to the manufacturer's website and go, it weighs this much, it's this long, and it's made of this, and here's its dimensions. And I can't do that because there's no information on it. So I'm just speculating it's made of stainless steel and titanium? Maybe? I've taken it apart. I guess so. I know it's in 556. And I have to measure it, and that's it, kind of thing. So, I don't know. You guys can tell me. So I guess that's a little behind the scenes. So anyway, thank you for joining me here in the garage. Let me know if there's anything that I talked about tonight or showed you that you want to tell me about. And the word of the day, ooh, this is going to be a good one today. Aficionado. Aficionado is the word of the day if you made it to the end. Because I need somebody that knows a lot about OSS suppressors to tell me about them. And, as always, thanks for watching.